Don't blink, it's your Wayne. Welcome to the show. You missed a lovely conversation with my neighbor. At least I got it here. But it was lovely. Don't blink, it's your Wayne. Welcome to the Come to the show. Yes, because I'm having a wonderful 30th of May 2025. We're about to be doing a small but very complete video of making content. We're going to be talking about season 10. Now, I do want to apologize for season 10 fail. What ended up happening is Netflix was down. So I thought for the longest time that we didn't have Trailer Park Boys anymore. No. Netflix was down. So what I'm gonna do is I don't have that much time because my father called me this morning for help, and I love it about my father, but I slept later, which means we woke up later, and it wasn't easy. Oh, I forgot to do myself a water. Give me a sec. There you go. See, I don't fucking like that. TikTok's always starting for no reason. I didn't tell TikTok to start. I'm out there. That's how they get inflated views because people are not there. So yeah, we had TikTok and we had Trailer Park Boys, and I couldn't find the file. So then the problem that I did was I tried so hard to be on the computer, and I thought the computer was having a problem. But then I switched to the phone, and I went to Netflix on the phone, and it wasn't working either. So we're having Pink Lemonade Crystal Light. I'm gonna restart from zero. The Trailer Park Boys season 10. Oh, amazing season. Completely different from this season 9. Completely different from season 8. Better than season 8. Better than season 9. And it's really, really, really good. There's a lot of things that I don't like, but one of the things that I do like, and again, season 10 I was a bit harsh with it. I was a bit harsh with it because of the J-Rock accent, the Ben Benson, the Snoop Dogg, and the Tom Arnold that took a lot of place. But honestly, a great season. A lot of I laughed really hard. Some of the fucked up moments, and yes, there's some cringe moments, but compared to season 9, there's not that many of them. So without further ado, let's get right into the review. I like doing that. I like saying this. Okay, good. All I have to do is this, and Netflix will work. I don't know why it wasn't working though. It was down for some reason, and it's funny because so how can I say this? It was on for a certain amount of minutes, and when it was finally up, my shook started. So we have season 10, 11, episode 1, Freedom 45. So this is really cool. We're having a Sunnyvale Trailer Park Boy, which is finally owned by Julian. And it's funny because I don't remember who owned the park in season 8. I don't remember. But this is the time that Julian owns the park, so basically they can do whatever the fuck they want, which is Moneyvale, which is super cool. The whole season is great because we do have the park in Julian care. So we start with a very cool thing of and this is the intro of season 1 of season 10 is actually quite cool because you got Randy, who was a park supervisor, finally. But for Julian, you got Swerna coming in, and the funny thing is Ricky is like, oh, just leave the park, just leave the park, just leave the park. Now the kind of the problem with that is we don't know why they're so bad at the trailer park. They're so bad at the camera crew, right? Now, why is that a problem? Because it was possibly said in their Swenet exclusive, so you have to be part of a subscription to know what happened to be able to watch another subscription. Oh, this is good. This is good. Okay, let's go. My neighbor is so nice. She's so nice. Okay. We got Julian with his two girlfriend owning the park. Um, we got Reggie and Ricky. All of them are pissed off. We got Ricky finally having his drugstore. I thought his drugstore was season 8, but it was in season 10. Um, Season 10 is just so well made. It's just so well made. They really took the time to do it. Season 8, I felt like they were looking at it too big. Season 9, they were trying to do something that people, like fan services. Season 10, they were just like, fuck you. And there's so many things. So, for example, season 10, we're 5 minutes in, and we get the situation of what happened to Randy Jr. The fact that he left, we have already noise complaints, which is the relationship, the beginning of the relationship between Ted and Randy, which is freaking hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious because you see Leahy and Randy, and like, okay, well, it makes sense. They're both fucked. You see Ted and Randy, and it's like, Randy got something special, dude. Randy's got something special. We have Julian in the bar, J-Rock at the shit rock. Julian has a country bar for some reason. Everybody's there. Everybody's happy. They're celebrating Film 45, and Bubbles like, "No, this is our dream with Ricky." Ricky, with Trinity having a baby, Lucy has baby fever, and she wants to be having a baby also. So right now, him and Lucy are really going at it, which is our three main characters. So Ricky does some mushroom, which transform him. Lucy gets really mad at him. We have Baby Mo, and the cool thing with Baby Mo is, so this is kind of tricky. So the cool thing with Baby Mo is by this seeing the age of a baby, the baby will change really quickly. The way it looks at 3 months versus a year is very different. So kind of seeing how long has it been since they started filming. It's not that long. We got Ricky with his drugstore. That is so fucking nice because Ricky is a fuck up, right? But he finally doing something that he like, finally doing something that he cared about, and it's kind of cool because he has and a product for every single member of the park. You have a muscle drink for Julian. He has a gummy worm for Bubbles. He has a bubble tea for tea. Bubble tea for tea is actually pretty cool. You got Jacob, which is really nice because Jacob having this confessional. I think this is one of the first confessional of Jacob, and he said, "Oh well, I have 4 jobs. Ricky said I need to pay for the wedding," which doesn't serve a purpose. It's just Ricky being hard on Jacob. However, it does serve a purpose when you think about, okay, well, the wedding is still going on. I want to also talk about how the episodes are 26 minutes. That's also very good. You got Ricky being a great grandfather. Now, the funny thing is, it's like about motel, about drugs, but he's been a great grandfather. You got Bubbles and Randy who were pissed at each other because Randy got everything that Bubble was selling because of the Eon, which is super nice. Then we got Bubbles, and Bubble is doing so freaking well, which we love. Bubble is, oh man, I love this. Look at this. I'm just gonna be make you guys listen to it because it's so funny.
Knows I was eyeing up the drugs. Just being a fucking arsehole, yes, man. I can't focus on that shit. There's too many good things happening. Car business is gonna start booming again. I can feel it in my bones. The market's gonna get hot, and I'll be selling these silver bitches as fast as I can fix them. Oh yeah, I'm practicing out for this thing right here. Won the mic contest in the Legion. Up that $1,000 grand prize. Plus, if I win, I get to compete the Legions. Maybe even do the whole Legion circuit. That's a big deal, obviously. You know, I'd be clocking Road Strange every night of the week. And I don't mean the regular old load that you used to hang around the parking lot. I'm getting some quality scratch.
This is awesome. And what I really like here is that Bubble finally is doing what he wants. Fixing cart, which was always his passion. Taking care of kitties, always did. However, we mentioned the Legional, which is the regional of the Legion. And what is actually cool is I never made the Biggie. I was fucking dumb, but I never made the fact that he's actually competing in the season. But it was just to show the Legion. Now he's competing, which is super fucking cool. We got more of Ricky and Bubbles. Lucy saying, hey, I want to have a baby. Now the cool thing is, again, this is what we love about Trailer Park Boys. It seems like this.
Just never ends up being as dirty.
The confessional.
It's kind of lame. Pump the gas and it fucking takes forever to leave your hose there. You just want it to end. It never fucking
You see bubbles in the background.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I fucking love this. Because that's what we want. This is the banter they have. And Lucy wanting to be pregnant is kind of not necessarily annoying, but she's asking Ricky, hey, like do this, and it's kind of annoying because Ricky kind of is a free spirit. However, it's just to make the family closer. Got Randy complaining, and Randy you feel bad about it. Randy you feel really bad about it because how can I say this? He's always treated like shit, right? We got Sarah to come back, and the cool thing with Sarah is I can actually picture like Barbara having a midlife crisis, right? Donna, we don't care about her. Sarah was a good person. So the fact that she betrayed everybody was kind of shitty. She went to jail, then she come back and she's cool again. We have Ricky testing out new weed product, which is good because he got the drugstore. You got Julian with his bar. You got Ricky accident while he's banging. He's banging Lucy so hard he breaks the trailer, which is crazy because he just talked about how banging for making a baby was boring, right? So that's kind of funny. It is just some good old Trailer Park Boys. You got Bubbles again with Ricky being having argument, and it's so fucking funny because Julian is losing customer because Ricky's banging too hard. So this is moment that it's kind of fucked. It reminds you at which point the trailer park is fucked. We have Lucy was banging one of the firefighter. So again, it's kind of cool because they all half pass, and they're finally giving Lucy some more lines. What is actually really cool here is a couple things. So they're giving Lucy more lines. Why is that? Am I a big fan of Lucy? I don't mind the character of Lucy. I don't think she's the worst. She's not the best, but she's not the worst. However, what is really cool is, since season 1, she didn't really have a lot to do. It's crazy how little she has to do with the story. And you just forget about it. You're just like, okay, well, wow, I didn't think that she had that much, but I still think that she had more than that. I'm checking my battery pack is recording. So that being said, it's so nice. Now the bad thing is, at the end of this season, there's a whole drama with her falsely accusing Bubbles of raping her, right? And then season 11, she's not there, so she finally had what a lot of people said Lucy wanted to be a bigger star, right? And it's kind of complex because I do understand what I don't agree with what she's trying to do, but I understand. It's like the Seinfeld cast. George Alexander George was always seen as George Costanza. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was always seen as Elaine, and Jerry Seinfeld was always seen as Jerry Seinfeld. You know, so it's I don't know. I have no clue. It's so sad, you know. For the people for Trailer Park Boys, it will always be seen as Ricky, Owen, and Julian. Lucy will always be seen as Lucy. You think the time law school had a lot of offer for work? No. What is really cool is in season 1, if it's in episode 1, we're seeing Sarah come back, and then we're seeing Barbara and Candy. So Candy is a new character they introduced in season 10. Not my favorite, but she's not that bad. I remember not liking her at all, but she's entertaining. She's like a bad influence. Barbara's a complete bitch, right? Which is also cool because we had Sarah saying, hey, Barb's a bitch. And we have Donna. That's pretty much it. We have the girlfriend of Julian talking about the problem. We had in episode 1 the plot being explained, which is really fucking cool. Because every time they do that, and they're like, hey, and it's so fucking funny because Candy just wants the money. Barb is like, yo, the contract that you signed with Leahy when he was drunk is not legal, and then she just hates Randy. It does feel good, but at the same time, it feels a bit boring because if it wasn't for Randy, Donna wouldn't have this not necessarily plot point, but she wouldn't have that much of it wouldn't have that much of a story. I don't know. It's hard. She wouldn't be important, right? So we got season 10 episode 2. We're flying through. Season episode 2. If you want my money, you can suck my cock. So everybody is worried, and once again, it's something that I really enjoy because the plot of the episode is that Julian is needing money, right? And nobody helps him, and it's always the same case. Always Julian has to take care of everybody. So he's like pissed. He's like, yo, you have to pay you're gonna have to pay your loss fees and shit like that, right? So that's good. Pink lemonade, Crystal Lights. We have Leahy, and it's not because Leahy not being part of the first episode. It's completely crazy. Leahy was one of the most important characters. To me, it's possibly Julian, Bubble, Ricky, and then Leahy for sure. As importance, but so importance is often screen time. So Leahy was talking about it. Leahy will finally crack the code. He maintains his level at 1.12. Now it's nuts because Julian has always said that. Julian has always been like, hey, pace yourself. Hey, pace yourself. Hey, pace yourself. And then Leahy finally does it. We have more of Steinberg trying to do a dirty contract. Steinberg kind of he is doing this Gracie shit, right? It's pretty boring. So now they gotta do a job to get the money, right? Now I forgot the job. The job is what? I completely forgot. We got if you put some music and I'm not able to film, I get copyrighted. Good. You have to the park. You got the whole J-Rock with the accent, which again is so fucking boring. So you have him return. He has a new girlfriend. Now the J-Rock, the whole thing, it's super boring, but it leads to some point. I'm gonna spoil it right now for you guys. This is much later on, but it gets spoiled. And so J-Rock, he found this girl, right? And MC's like, yo, he chose her over me. Like, nah, he's trying to get you a healthy environment to live in, right? He's trying to help you out, and you feel bad for J-Rock because his mom, she didn't have a father, so he's trying to give that to MC Fleury, right? It's kind of cool, but the Spanish accent sucks. Got MC Fleury who misses his father. You got Randy asking for loss fees, and Ricky saying you can suck my cock. What else? See, this one is actually pretty good. It's a pretty good season. You can tell it's easier. Like season 8, season 9, I was having a hard time. Season 10 is actually pretty good. Season 11 is also pretty fucking good. Season 11 problem is Leahy because it's too much of Leahy. Season 12 is perfection. So you got Julian asking for Randy to collect losses, and he gives a hug to Julian. You got Leahy who's working and getting some journal, which is really cool because he's retired. A lot of retired people are gonna be working small jobs. So Leahy's doing this, he's happy. He's finding pacing himself with alcohol. He has taken over alcohol. And the funniest thing he says in this one, I don't know, I'm not a drinker, so maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But he says, I am sober enough to know what I'm doing and drunk enough to be having fun doing it. So that, it really rang a bell. Well, it didn't really ring a bell to me, but it really like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. I kind of fuck with that, right? You got the girls going to Leahy and saying, hey, I'm gonna need your help. And Leahy doesn't want to help them because it's kind of complex because Leahy doesn't do it to help the boys. Just staying out of shit, right? And it's nice because Leahy kind of moved out of Sunnyvale. So it's not like it goes back to season 5, episode 6. We can coexist. Don't cross the shit line, and we're good. Right? Which is something we saw. You got the girls kind of being mad with Julian because they're not fucking them. Which is, again, the harem. Pimp. Bubble says, hey, if you need some help. Bubbles like, hey, if you need some help, I'm there. And people are telling him, hey, you can handle it. So this actually served no fucking purpose. The fact that people said to Bubble, you can handle it, served no fucking purpose. It's just to make fun of Bubbles in a good way. However, when Bubble is being called a nerd, and this season, like, okay, well, people are really messing with Bubbles, you know? So we got this, we got that. We got people that are getting the Loffies. Marguerite said, I'll fuck you off, but you don't give me the whatchamacallit, you don't give me the problems. She takes a nail clipper, she's breaking it. Ricky's is breaking is fixing his trailer, and then Bubble asking, am I a nerd? Right? It's like, no, you're not a nerd, you're a cool guy. And he tells, and that's the cool way. Bubble asked Julian, do I look like a nerd? And Bubble said, no, and Julian said, no, you're a cool guy. Then he asked Ricky, and Ricky tells him the truth. He said, yeah, you look like a nerd, but you're a cool guy. So it's kind of cool. So we got Barbara, Donna, and Candy, BDC, who takes over. He takes over. What should I call it? He takes over the trailer of Leahy. We got Ricky asking for money for Randy. Now this is a cool part, but this is kind of like a weird part. So Randy says, "Hey, you owe us some money, Ricky." And Ricky's like, "No, I'm best friend with the fucking owner. Suck my cock." But then Julian's like, "Yo, you owe us money. You do." And Julian is kind of right. Julian is kind of right in the fact that Ricky owe him money because he doesn't pay his rent fees. And Julian never gave a fuck because he wasn't the park owner. But now that he's the park owner, everybody has to give out rent, right? Now the problem is it could be seen as, well, Ricky. Now that Ricky has money, we're gonna tax him. So that's pretty much it. Not the most interesting stuff, but still, got more fighting with Ricky. And it's funny because in this one, when Ricky comes in to fight Randy, the first thing that Ricky does is he takes Randy's pants and pull them up, which is, we know, it's his secret weapon. So we have this. We have MC Fleury studying, and this is cool because him studying is, so this is really good writing actually. Season 9 was all about it was Fleury accepting J-Rock as a dad. Now what it is to be a dad. So when he does his homework, J-Rock has to make sure that he's doing the homework. Lucy is banged up, and Ricky tells her that he's afraid to have kids, and she's like, I'm afraid too. We can be afraid together, right? And this is the coolest thing because this is Lucy being understanding of Ricky. This is the coolest thing, and that's pretty much it. So then Julian is freaking out. He said nobody can drink for free anymore. No more tabs. The problem is Julian wasn't paying people, so he wasn't paying people. They were taking part of the park. He wouldn't pay them, but when they go to this bar, they would drink for free. So it was like an agreement, but he doesn't respect it. Bubble is sad because him and Ricky are fighting. Julian is seeing how much bills we have. Jerky asking, hey, I need some cash. Can we do a job? Right? So everybody's starting to talk about a job. And Julian's like, yo, I want to own a business. And the coolest thing about that was the whole time, Bubble always had this, I want to have my own business. I want to have a legit business and don't do crimes. And then at Freedom 45, Julian realized that Bubble was right all along, right? And Julian has this park, and he said, I should be able to make money, but I still have to commit crime. What the fuck is going on? You got Leahy and Randy, and this is actually a cool part, because Randy and Leahy, they fight, and the coolest part is that Leahy and Randy actually took a break. So then Leahy gets a problem with Donna, Barbs, and Candy, like, please, Bobandy, help me. And then Bobandy's like, you're drunk. And then Leahy started to tell him, dude, I'm good. And Randy is very impressed, right? He's very impressed. He's very, very impressed because it's, this is so good. This is so fucking good. Randy's impressed, but it's not enough. You got Bubble who started to be picked on, so he changed his whole style, right? And it's so fucking cool because Bubble is like, yo, I'm a rude guy. I'm a gangster now. You got tough guy Bubbles, and and it's so funny because they do a job. Julian, Bubbles, Ricky, T, and J-Rock, and then he's like, they could.
I'm fucking in. Fucking way.
As it is.
I'm fucking into that, you know what I mean? We're down with jobs. Force liquor. Force liquor. You know, buddy? Put it on my counter.
Look at this is funny.
Spot drinks. Doubles. Doubles. Better. Oh, just take it easy now.
It's still a gangster, but you know the whole bubble is still there. Take it easy now. I love this. So we have Leahy, who's being completely drunk, but the really cool thing was he's eating a bag of chip, and he has fucking squirrel in it, and it's a whole thing of Ricky having a squirrel once again, which is fucking funny. I love that. Leahy is not doing well. He has to deal with the three girls, and the three girls are pushing him to drink. See, at first when you see Leahy, he's okay, right? But now the more you fuck with him, he's looking more and more to drink some more. How much I'm allowed to drink, right? And then the first thing that happened, and this is a beautiful thing, he's able to pace himself, he's able to control himself. The first thing that happened, the very, very, very first thing that happened is he's supposed to stay at 0.12, it goes to 0.16. Like, close enough. And then it's the beginning of the shit again. With the boys wanting to do a good job. You got Bubbles with his fucking new getup, which is gangster. I love that. I'm talking about the job that they want to do. Sarah and Lucy, they're like, I don't care if you do a job, but we have to be in the job. We have to put it in the job. You got MC, and it's really tough because MC is like, yo, I don't like my new mom. And Gerald's like, yo, please try. I need your support, right? And it's hard because he's trying to do something good, but isn't able to. Now, speaking of loud noise, today I had something really cool happen. So I go to my father's to pick up my phone because I left my phone to upload more. And I see the boys, Jordy and Gordy. So you don't know, Gordy and Jordy are people that I met via the Blood Moon. We were watching the Blood Moon, and it was really cool. Lots of old friends, you know. But the job that they do is they steal a bike from the city. Now what is really cool is for the first time we have Sarah and Lucy being there, which is kind of cool because we have women representation. If you look at it before, no women, and I'm sorry to say that, but no woman was actually kind of part of the story. You know what was the biggest part? The biggest part was Lucy, but the biggest part with Lucy was being back with Ricky or not. The biggest part of Trip Park Boys, it was possibly Barb's at some point, but Barb is the owner of the park. So it was never about the ladies of the park, just Trailer Park Girls, right? It finally is. Now we do have a cool scene with the security of the campus saying, hey, can I take those bikes? But it's more so of Ricky being a bullshitting genius and negotiating and fucking them over with his Jedi mind trick. So it's interesting, but it's the same. It's interesting, but it's not. It's really in the sense of, hey, we see something that we haven't seen, but it's not in the sense of this is something that did I really need to see it? Not really. So we have the boys. Now we have the ultimate titty twister. Brandy is the first one to set up the Candy, like because she's a woman and she kind of fights, right? Kind of fight a woman, and then he get his nipple twisted, in a really bad sense. You can see that he's there. And the funny thing is, last episode, Leahy went to ask for help from Randy. Randy wouldn't help him, so when Randy asked Leahy for help, like, nope, I'm not gonna help you, right? But then you see, this is such a sweet moment. Then you see how bad they treat him, and he feels bad. Look at this. This is the sussest, gayest moments of Trailer Park series. You'd think it'd be Leahy and Randy fucking, but no. This is it. He's rubbing ointment on his tits. Yeah. And it gets really sexual. But then Randy's like, no, I'm not sure about how I feel about this. The boys, they go in and try to sell the bike. The cool thing is that we get some new characters. The good thing is we get Officer Pencilcock. We saw him in season 9 as the park appraisal. So the fact that we use these characters again is really nice, but they get a lowball offer. It doesn't work. They don't get enough. So then they have to sell the is that no, that's not it. So then Randy's like, yo, we have a really big problem, guys. Trying to stop them. But then Julian, because Julian's like, yo, protect the park, protect the entrance of the park. Nobody comes something that I don't want. So it's more so his problem. So now T, and I gotta love T here. I gotta love T. So T is kind of the uncle of MC Fleury by de facto. So then you protect him MC Fleury. He's like, yo, this bitch is whack. And then J-Rock is like, no, she's not whack. She's my future wife, right? And then it sucks because he's like, he said, J-Rock says it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And then T is like, is that the really best thing that happened to you? What about MC Fleury, right? So MC Fleury gets a girlfriend, and then J-Rock trying to act cool. But then MC Fleury says the truth. MC Fleury is like, yo, her family is normal. The boys are doing B&Es, and the B's and E's. This one is so fucking funny, because see, it's boring how every time that we meet a cop, Ricky is there to some situation in the same exact way. So it's boring. But this one is the fact that he's using something kind of funny. He say, I saw a drunk guy, and a guy with purple nipple. So then the police called him in. That's really fucking funny. It's really fucking funny. So they steal furniture, which is, again, something we saw. Lucy freaks out because Ricky was supposed to bring her on a job, but he said no. Now they're waiting. Got Corey and Trevor saying, hey, we hide the stuff, we hide it in the lake. They hide the electronic in the lake. So then Julian's like, okay, well, what can we do? I have to do another job. And then Ricky tells him, no, I cannot do any jobs. So Julian's like, okay, well, fuck it. I can't take care of this. Enjoy not being here. And once again, it's Bubble that is the V team. He's the one that says to Julian, hey, please care. And Ricky's like, yo, try to understand Julian. And he tells Ricky, understand Julian, right? So it's really cool because this is what we saw. This is Trailer Park Boy, the same thing. The B&Es are not new. The fight between Ricky and Julian aren't new. Corey and Trevor, or Corey and Jacob fucking up, is not new. It's just that the stakes are higher. The stakes are higher, so same situation to the different problem. Which, as long as I'm doing something different, I don't care what, I'll accept it. I'll be happy about it, you know? I'll be happy about it. And then Julian finally tells Bubble, you look like a fucking dick. Right? And Bubble's like, okay, I can finally be myself. Which is cool because the whole thing, I think, serve a couple of purposes. The first purpose itself, or it tries to solve at the very least, is that Bubble is insecure. Which is normal, it's something that happens. I mean, the best of us, right? It's normal. But in this case, what is actually really cool is that the boys are like, yo, we like you the way you are. It doesn't really matter. So the boys actually fix the confidence of Bubbles, which is something we enjoy seeing. And that is pretty much it. Got season 10, episode 4. Movie this one, after that I have to go to the lakeshore to film some stuff. And I'll be back at around 8 or 10 filming this. We'll be filming the nature corner the whole time, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna do something new with the GoPro. That should be fun. Trailer Park Boys, a bunch of royalties. So then they talk about how they use all the money. They used all of the money for Trinity's wedding in collateral for the park, for Steinberg. And now we need to get the money back. We need to get the money back because now they look like it. And that's why Lucy was pissed. The problem is, see, Ricky doesn't mind letting down people. He minds letting down Trinity. That's new. We got more Leahy and Randy. And it's fun because it's the first time. So, see, Leahy and Randy being in this relationship is nice. But Leahy and Randy were in this relationship since season 1. We never saw the romance between Leahy and Randy. We know from the Christmas special that they used to be together because when Jim was a cop, Randy was a prostitute. We know that, but we never had this courting season or this flirting. Now we're getting that, and we're getting Leahy was really making an effort to Randy. And it's such a good thing because it's Leahy not being a fucking drunken mess that makes it. And this is even more, and this is going to sound very sus, but there's a chance that Leahy, when he's drunk, he's bisexual. When he's sober, he's straight. And Leahy might needed the perfect thing for Randy. Drunk enough to know he's bi, but sober enough to treat Randy's right. So that's really cool. They get back together, which is really nice. The boys are just chilling and they're looking for a plan. And he's seeing this hat from Sam Lasco, who now has a business. So it's like, okay, well, if we steal from someone, we're gonna be stealing from Sam. Because he said Steinberg asked for more money and more money and more money, which is again added pressure to the boys, right? There's no guarantee to win. They're talking about we need money, so they do the plan to steal from Sam. Now the whole thing is fucked because they don't have any money from the wedding, so now there's even more. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing of Ricky saying, "Hey, I don't want to do the job because I promised Lucy I wouldn't do it." So they have a plan to steal from Sam. Now Ricky is not doing it, but Julian tricks him and say, "Hey, all you gotta do is drive us, right?" And he says, Lucy's like, "Yo, there's pizza. Go get some pizza." So you got Leahy buying some tent, which serves two purposes. It's again to show that Candy, Barbara, and Donna really took over him. But it's an old good old thing to see Leslie Denser. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like Leslie Denser in season 9. I love him in season 10. I love him in season 10 to a point where you don't have any idea. There's always neighbors talking. It's not they're talking to me, and I don't want to disrespect them. So he's trying to keep up, and Leslie's trying to be a friend to Leahy, but it's like no. Now they do the B&E to the Detcher King, which is also a business, and Trailer Park Boy Greasy Money. So what ended up happening is they're having too much problem. Ricky ends up helping them, and Ricky ends up stealing the safe. So the safe is the way to do the job, right? They have problems. So what happened is they take the car and they fuck up the car. The car is Lucy's car. Now the cool thing with this is that Lucy, it's not the first time we're seeing Ricky with his car. So it's not like, oh my god, you got a car out of nowhere. He gets it out. Jacob admit that they used the money from the wedding. Now they're really pissed. Ricky fuck up the trailer. He fuck up the car. Leahy trying to do peace with the girls. It doesn't really work. So because Ricky fucks up the car, Lucy is pissed and she wants to break up with him. But Lucy says, Ricky, please be honest with me, right? I'm sick of your lying. Which is gonna show up with a more honest Ricky, which is weirdly an improvement for Ricky, right? So then it's not because this episode, the whole thing is Druck's making mama joke, which is boring. Ricky eats ground pizza. See, I'm having fun. There's just so little to say versus lore-wise, right? But it's still fun. See, now Leahy start to drink a lot more, and this is when it happens that he has 0.16, so he's kind of drunk. They open up the safe, thinking there's gold inside. No, there's only rotten teeth. They have no money. There's more noise complaint. So then Randy do some favor for Ted, which is sexual flavor. Now, what I absolutely love here is Steinberg, even though he's greasy, he has some good moments. So for example, Ted comes in and says, "Hey, Detcher King was robbed today. Do you know anything about that, Julian?" He's like, "No, it's Steinberg free of charge." Says, "No, my client wasn't there. My client was there all day." And then Steinberg saves their asses. He's like, "We don't need a warrant to search your house." And he's like, "That's not my house, that's my business." So then he gets it. And then the plan to privatize the whole park is amazing. So privatizing the whole park is gonna bring in some really good scenes. For example, when it's gonna come out, there's not gonna be, you need warrants, you need search warrants, which is very important. There's more so you can smoke in a private space. So there's a lot of things that's going on that weren't going on before, and it's definitely an improvement from this series. Is it the best? No, but I'm telling you, season 10 was really enjoyable. Season 11 was a bit weak. Season 12 is perfect. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give you guys a ranking at the end of my favorite season. I'm gonna end here. We're doing good. We're doing 10.5. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go chill a little bit. Go to the lakeshore. Then I'm gonna come back, and then when I come back, I'm gonna be making the video. I'm gonna be charging the 2 phones. That's gonna be pretty good, right? Sounds good. Sounds great. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.